Now to more of the protests that are sweeping the nation. Many of them were peaceful. We have to keep that in mind. They were peaceful during the day, but chaos did break out after dark in many cities across the country. Eva Pilgrim joins us now from Minneapolis with the very latest. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. Yeah, you can see the destruction here behind me, but I want to show you what was painted on this building, this mural that was here before all this. It says, "Stop Violence," and that is the call from so many this morning.
Overnight, protests from coast to coast, the 7th night of protests following the death of George Floyd. In St. Louis, a night of destruction, buildings on fire, 4 police officers shot during a face-off with a late-night crowd trying to storm police headquarters.
Some coward fired shots at officers, and now we have 4 in the hospital. But thankfully, and thank God, they're alive.
Riots breaking out in Seattle after hours of peaceful protesting. The crowd trying to break through barricades, pushing toward a police precinct, throwing rocks, bottles, and fireworks at cops. In Las Vegas, an officer shot in the head overnight right on the Vegas Strip near Circus Circus. Another shot downtown near the federal courthouse. In Buffalo, a terrifying scene after 2 officers were hit by a vehicle at the scene of a protest, leaving at least 1 in serious condition. Officials saying the driver was not deliberately targeting law enforcement. In New York City, thousands marched down the streets in a largely peaceful protest. The highest-ranking uniformed member of the NYPD taking a knee with those gathered in Washington Square Park.
Let New York show the country how this is done.
But looting attempts began later in the night as Governor Cuomo's newly announced 11 p.m. citywide curfew approached. Mayhem breaking out on 5th Avenue as our Stephanie Ramos reported live.
Things are getting wild here at Rockefeller Center here in New York City. It's bad. We're feeding in live.
And overnight, the mother of David McAtee, a Louisville barbecue owner, shot dead by law enforcement trying to enforce curfew during protests, speaking out.
When a mother lose a child, piece of you goes along right with that child.
An investigation into the situation revealed the officers involved did not have their body cameras activated when the shooting occurred. The city's mayor lashing out.
This type of institutional failure will not be tolerated.
Earlier in the day, across the country, thousands peacefully marching, many determined to stay focused and have their voices and messages heard. Many pointing out that they are not the ones damaging property and that the fires and destruction are taking away from their message of change.
I don't agree with all of the foolishness that's been going on, but this is years and generations and decades and centuries of compounded racism, and it's like, how much can we take?
Many police and protesters trying to come together. One member of the Minnesota National Guard kneeling outside with protesters, even embracing with some of those gathered outside afterwards. In Denver, hundreds of volunteers picking up trash and washing away graffiti from the previous day's protests. The police chief seen wiping away tears. He tells us that while the damage done to his city hurt him, he made a commitment to a young black protester to march with him and others.
I committed to Neil that I would march with him, I would stand with him, and I would do the hard work with him moving forward, because this is not acceptable.
And overnight, we saw several members of a community watch. This neighborhood has organized. They are walking the streets through all hours of the night in shift to make sure that these fires aren't reset and that more businesses aren't destroyed. Amy.
All right, Eva, thank you so much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.